Do you think there's a chance you'll be living this life the rest of your days?
I hope not.
I mean, I know I should say otherwise and say no, but like, I mean, as of right now, like, life is pretty simple. Just survive, get high, and just, you know, I mean, I'm pretty content right now.
Yeah, that's not going to motivate you to go through the withdrawal or whatever you're going to have to do.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No. The only thing that's going to stop me is death, probably.
All right. Who do we have?
Hi, I'm Andrea.
What is your name?
Andrea.
Andrea?
Yeah.
Joshua.
Andrea and Joshua. You guys are on Skid Row?
Yes.
How long have you been staying there?
About a month and a half now.
Where are you guys from?
Massachusetts. Plymouth, Massachusetts. The Pilgrims, the Mayflower.
Were you on the street there too?
No.
What happened?
I was actually in illicit trade, so I was actually doing pretty well for myself, but I just got shot and caught a gun case. I was in jail. I got out and there was some ongoing issues, so decided to take off. My whole family's dead. My kids are grown, so I really had nothing, nowhere, and no one other than Andrea and what we were doing out there and what was going on. Tried to change it up a little bit. I had some savings. We came out here to try and start over, and it didn't turn out so well.
Are you on the run now?
Kind of.
You can't go back to Plymouth.
I thought we were gonna come out here and we were gonna start over, get jobs, just like make a little life, just the two of us, because we just were sick of the day in, day out, same thing. And it's been a lot harder than we thought. We were in a hotel for a while when we first got out here, living comfy, and then came down to Skid Row. When lost a lot of money and time went on and on.
All our stuff got stolen, everything we had.
That happens here a lot.
Yeah.
And now we have nothing. Like I came down with
These
came
are
down with a lot.
These are all your belongings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That means you're a fentanyl addict.
Yes.
Because you guys fall asleep, and when you're falling asleep, people can strip you naked and you won't wake up.
and we just didn't expect I had an idea, but I just didn't know.
So, I mean, on and off, been in trouble my whole life, in and out of jail, and
What was your family like growing up?
so I thought I had a normal family. I mean, I think everyone does, right? My mother was a bipolar drug addict. She did the best she could, single mother, Section 8 welfare. I was pretty poor. I mean, I always had a place to live and clothes on my back. Like, I had it much better than I do now. So, I mean, to me, that was top shelf then compared to this is really being dirt poor.
Yeah.
But family-wise, like, I thought everything was normal. You know, Christmases, Thanksgiving, getting together, doing family stuff, and I just could never get acclimated. I just never could fit in. I just always felt different, and it caused me to act out, being put on medications through school and all those different things, and it just led me down different paths. Drug abuse. I mean, I have 4 different baby mothers. I have no career. I got my GED in state prison. I wasted all my potential, wasted every chance I could, squandered. And
Why do you think that is? What if you could put your finger on one thing that caused this chaos? What would that be?
I thought I was smarter than everybody. So, I mean, I've always been pretty intelligent, like scores on anything, like through the roof, and I just always could see an angle on everything, and I always just tried to do shit my way.
You ever had a job?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't fun.
Yeah.
No. We actually worked together TGI Fridays for like a year in 2011. That was like the longest job I've ever had on the books. That doesn't really last long. I know ways to make money.
Today's video is sponsored by BetterHelp. I work every day. I don't take sick days. Some days everything falls into place, and other days it just doesn't. We've all been there. Life has its ups and downs, and that's just how it goes. When things feel heavy, having the right support makes all the difference. A therapist can help untangle external pressures from internal thoughts, turning stress into personal strength. Therapy is a great tool for learning how to process emotions, build healthy boundaries, and develop ways to cope with social anxieties and everyday pressures. It can also help you set goals that truly fit your life. Getting started is simple. You fill out a short questionnaire online, and BetterHelp will match you with one of more than 30,000 licensed therapists with diverse specialties and backgrounds. If the match isn't right, it's no problem. You can switch therapists anytime at no extra cost. And the best part, you don't have to wait for the right time. Any day can be the start of something better. So if you're feeling stuck, click on the link in the description or visit betterhelp.com/softwhiteunderbelly to get 10% off your first month of therapy. Because taking care of yourself isn't about waiting for perfect. It's about showing up for yourself every day. Thank you for watching. And now back to the video.
Where I don't have to take orders or do any of that other stuff, and I can provide more in short periods of time without having to do anything, you know.
How old are you?
42?
42.
Yes.
Andrea, you grew up where?
I grew up like 2 houses away from him,
Okay.
so we've known each other for years.
What was your family like growing up?
My family was a little different. Mom, dad, brother, sister. I'm the only person, my family, both sides, have ever, like, are a drug addict or have ever been arrested. So my family, like, really doesn't have, like, any idea about anything.
They don't even know?
They know, but they don't have, like they
Like
can't.
what? Like, is there any reason that you can pinpoint as to why this happened to you?
I don't know. I just always was, like, restless. Like, I always just wanted to, like, and I think I wanted to be like my sister, and she was a lot older than me, and I just always wanted more. I wanted to drink. Like, or you get to be at your friends for the night, but then drinking, then drugs, and it's always just one step, like something else. I just always wanted something else. And when I got that, I wanted something else. And just wrong decision after wrong decision.
Is that self-worth at all? Like if you believed you deserved something better, like a better life, a better house, a better career, better whatever, do you think you'd manifest that?
I don't know. Like, at the time, like, being a kid, like, I did have, like, a nice house and, like, stuff. I always wanted to be, like, like, poor. I wanted to be, like, in the project with all the kids.
You relate
like,
to it.
You know what I mean? Like, playing and, like, just always having kids around and something to do. And I was kind of, like, by myself because, like, I did have that good life and didn't realize what I had.
You're the black sheep of the family.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My dad's pretty much the only one that's, like, and me and him really aren't even on talking right now. It's been a couple months, but yeah, my brother doesn't talk to me. Like, it's pretty much my dad's the only one that's stayed by my side.
Wow. You've been doing drugs for how long?
Oh God, since '92, since I was 12.
Since you were
Open
12.
heart surgery
Yeah.
for all that, for drug abuse.
Yeah, I was on, like, life support or whatever for 11 days. I had endocarditis, and 11 days into it, I guess I had a heart attack, and I had to do open heart surgery.
From what drug?
Heroin.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was. But you know what? It didn't scare me. I was in the hospital with PICC lines and everything else, and I was doing drugs on my PICC line. It's sick. Like, as soon as I had the opportunity, and I spent, like, over a year in Shattuck Hospital in Massachusetts. It's like the bottom of the barrel, like, state paid for a hospital. And as soon as I had the opportunity, I was just running around with everyone, just happened to be in the hospital, but running downstairs to meet the dealer, putting it in, you know what I mean? It's insane. I just couldn't stop.
It's like after getting Narcan, you just look for a bag and you go right back to doing it. You just OD'd, flatlined, and the only thing I can think about is grabbing a bag to not be sick and just going back to...
You just go back and do it again.
Right.
Yeah.
Not even caring. And I mean, this happens. I couldn't even tell you how many times I've overdosed, like, and I do it all the time. And
What is it? Is the draw of whatever you're addicted to just so strong that you can't stop? It doesn't make sense, to an outsider.
No, there's no rational justification for it.
How do you explain that somebody would do something that might kill them?
I mean, you don't think the consequences are real. Like, it's just, even when it happens, it's just never been because I always wake up or something always happens. It's just always close, but never that. So it's not reality for me. I mean, I've just always pushed my luck, and just, it seems like I don't believe that it'll really kill me. Like, people, all my friends, everybody's dead, everybody we grew up with, everybody in my family. I mean, my mother died of fentanyl, my uncles died of fentanyl, my cousin killed himself. Everybody in my family has had, issues or whatever. And all my friends, everybody I grew up with, they're all dead fentanyl. One-time use, never do it, OD, died.
When did you start using hard drugs?
The late 90s.
How old were you?
Well, hard drug, I mean, I would say I started with pot, then I went to like hallucinogenics, acid, K, mushrooms, things like that. So I was dabbling with hard drugs like that, but like probably 17, 18, and I shot coke before I smoked coke, and I shot heroin before I smoked coke, and then after I got introduced to a needle, and needles were illegal in Massachusetts. You'd have to drive to Rhode Island or somewhere else to get them. You'd have a dirty needle that had no numbers on it that you'd need a run and start to be able to even get it in, and it's bending while you're trying to do whatever. And everybody out there has hepatitis from, those days or whatever, sharing cottons, whatever. AIDS was a big thing out there, and I mean, it was like the epicenter. Massachusetts for heroin. New England is like the fentanyl.
Does fentanyl compare to heroin? How does fentanyl compare to heroin?
It really doesn't. It was a substitute. Heroin, I guess, I don't know, because of the cartels, prices, whatever it may be.
Heroin was better than fentanyl?
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Absolutely.
But once you're on fentanyl, you can't go back to the heroin.
Right, it's strong.
Yeah.
It's so strong, and there's no like in between. You're either not high or you're dead. Like,
So right now we're having to do black tar heroin with fentanyl on top of it. So you get the rush from the fentanyl, but then you get the legs from the black tar.
Are you using anything else? Crack,
Everything. Everything that's available.
Everything.
Yes. Yeah.
We've tried angel dust since we've been on. Well, I've tried it since we've been on.
I've been smoking dust nightly now, to have these experiences or whatever. She's not really a fan, but
Scary.
Meth, crack, just basically anything that's available out there, but basically dust at night.
Do you have any desire to get clean? Or is that life too foreign to you?
No, I've tried being clean. There's been gaps, like when I've been locked up. I did 5 years in state prison, Atlanta. I was clean for that period of time. I just did 3.5 years in Massachusetts for trafficking. They had me on methadone, so I was on opiates. They give you opiates now. But for the rest of my life, once I got introduced to opiates, whatever chemical imbalances, whatever I had, the medications they tried to give me would have adverse side effects and whatever else. And I got introduced into opiates, and it was like a cure-all for everything, the anxiety, the emptiness, just everything. It filled that void, and that's been my go-to. I'll never not be able to be on it, whether I'm on maintenance, Suboxone or methadone or shooting fentanyl. I mean, at this point, like, I see myself, dying from this or whatever, and I'm okay with that.
You're okay with that?
Yeah.
I've been on an opiate or maintenance for 25 years, minus like, let's say 8 months I've done in jail. Besides that, every day. So even when I'm clean, it's still like a maintenance, so it's still an opiate.
Yeah. Did you guys have dreams of doing something else with your life?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I still have dreams, but I mean, they're dreams, right?
Yeah. Do you think there's a chance you'll be living this life the rest of your days?
I hope not.
I mean, I know I should say otherwise and say no, but like, I mean, as of right now, like, life is pretty simple. Just survive, get high, and just, you know, I mean, I'm pretty content right now.
Yeah, that's not going to motivate you to go through the withdrawal or whatever you're going to have to do.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No. The only thing that's going to stop me is death, probably.
And you've OD'd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I couldn't even give you an honest number. I'd be a liar if I told you,
Right.
but a significant amount. Like,
Do you have any regrets in your life?
sure.
What are some of your biggest regrets?
I mean, because the choices I made, it's affected, you know, being in my kids' lives. It's affected me from being away from people who cared about me or whatever. I mean, granted, everybody's dead now, but I mean, I probably had the potential to do pretty much whatever I wanted if I had, you know, that somebody to the guidance or somebody to give me direction or somebody to look up to, but I didn't have that. Like, I was just out on the street because my mother was always working to pay the bills, so I was out in the park listening to Wu-Tang, skateboarding with the older kids, drinking 40s, smoking weed, and it just led me down a path, and been on it since.
Our neighborhood, that's all there was. It was just like everyone hanging out and just drugs and drinking. That's what we did for fun. There wasn't much else going on. And then just got carried away with it.
Yeah. What brought you to Los Angeles?
Kind of just not running away, but just getting away from everyone.
I guess trying to escape the law.
Yeah, we thought we thought we were going to come out and things were going to happen a little bit different, but we just, not even escape, not even that so much.
Yeah, it's not even, I
Like,
mean,
he could
because
spend
I
so
could
much
have.
time, he could care less about the little
Right.
bit
I
of
got
time.
13 years in. I've spent more time in than I've spent out. Like, I live in jail and vacation on the streets, unfortunately. And I'm not even really worried about it. I just sat for a period of time before I bailed out to go. But, like, with, you know, me getting shot and the other stuff, the way I was living my life, I was selling drugs and I was doing, it was getting extreme, like, and
What did you get shot over?
it was a scuffle over a gun, and it went off, but I still got the bullet lodged in my ankle. BMC wouldn't even take it out. I got shot, and I drove to the city, and I rode around for 3 hours. I just put a belt on my leg and cinched it off so I could shoot fentanyl and smoke crack for a couple hours before I even went into the hospital. Been like 3 hours after I got shot, and I went, and they checked me in, gave me a bunch of more drugs. The next day I spent there, and then they kicked me out in a wheelchair, sent me on my way, didn't even remove the bullet or do any of that. Just, but
Is there anything you're afraid of? Anything you worry about now?
the only thing I'm afraid of, legitimately, is a life sentence in prison. I'm not scared to die. I'm not scared to be in the situations I'm in. I'm not really scared of much. I'm scared of being incarcerated, sober.
Sober.
For
It's probably being sober that scares you.
Yeah, probably. I mean, that's part of it. But yeah, having to be sober and accountable and feel everything and deal with all my baggage and all the bullshit and just, you know, never being able to get back out to do the things that I want to do. That's genuinely the only thing that scares me.
You guys have friends on the street?
I'm sorry?
Do you have any friends on the street?
I mean, back home, yes.
You're back home?
Yep. Sure do.
And how do you guys make money?
So, like I said, I was selling drugs before I came out here, so I had a good bit of money put up and some other things, assets, and all that. So I left most of the stuff out, and I had a couple people getting rid of some of the stuff that I had to send me money out, but all that's pretty much withered away. The money I brought out here to get an apartment and to start over and all that, I mean, staying in hotels and doing all that, it dwindled away before we could find a place, and then all our shit getting stolen and everything happened. So right now, I mean, we're not making money. I mean, I draw and I tattoo. Like, I could do that for money, but like, I'm gonna tattoo out of a tent, like, you know. So right now, I don't really know what we're gonna do for money. I mean, it's not like there's jobs or that I could be clean to work. Like, you can't get up and go to work with the same clothes on day in, day out, and not be able to shower and hygienic wise and just all that stuff. So, I mean, basically, we're at the mercy of whatever. I mean, I'm getting food stamps right now. That's what I'm living off.
Trying to figure it out, like find our way.
Right. What do you think of living life in a tent on Skid Row?
It's different, but I mean, some things about it are all right, but other things obviously aren't. I mean, there's a sense of freedom, I guess, just, you know, I mean, you don't have any responsibility, anybody, you know, you just can basically live, just get high. It's just,
It wouldn't be bad if you could like set everything up and like have just your little spot, just make it outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you walk away,
you can't.
Right.
You can't do it.
everyone will steal everything.
Right.
You're surrounded by thieves.
Absolutely.
Right. Absolutely. And it's,
Having to pack up your life every day and go, you can't move forward. So that's what we're just trying to figure out now. Like, I don't know, like where do we set up the tent? Like, what do we do? Like, what's the next step?
but we're just trying to figure out a way to get some money so we can buy essential stuff, just basic stuff that we need, hygiene stuff for a tent, a little bit of comfortability to be able to just get by so we can figure out the next step. I mean, but there's so much time in a day and really nothing going on, you know? I mean,
It takes a whole day to do one thing.
What does your typical day look like? Do you sleep?
sometimes,
So when you sleep, let's say you wake up in the morning,
yeah,
and what do you do? It's the first thing you do.
get high,
You have some saved from the previous night,
yeah.
and then what do? You get high and do what?
Make a plan, figure out what we're gonna do for the day, either, you know, try and get something set up, like trying to maybe figure out for unemployment or file for disability, or like going to the food stamp office or going to get a free phone or doing something, finding some type of resource or something that's gonna put us a little bit better than we were the day before.
Is getting a job an option or not really?
I mean, it is, but like I wouldn't feel comfortable going to work and leaving her out there alone while I'm at work for the day, you know what I mean? And at the same time, her going to get a job, it's hard for a female to get a job when you can't shower and dress nice and put on makeup and feel human to do anything. And who's going to hire someone like that? And like, and then wait 2 weeks to get a paycheck
For $100.
and not, you know, what do you do in the meantime to survive while you're doing that 8 hours a day, like with a habit? Like, you have to be able to stay well, you have to be able to support your drug habit, you have to be able to nourish yourself, you have to be able to, you know, get by. So it's complicated. It's a hard, you know.
Do you think it's more difficult as a couple than if you were single?
I mean, sure, for lots of different reasons. Morally, I mean, because most girls can just be prostitutes, or they can just,
So can the guys.
Right. But, I mean, that's not my cup of tea. I just never, you know, like, I would rather figure something out. Like, I would go do something to get money before I would. So it's just like a thing about, like I said, about your character or integrity or your morals, like just trying to stay above board and not, you know.
What's the most despicable thing you've done living this life?
I mean,
as an opiate addict, you get desperate sometimes.
Yeah, but so I would say killing one of my friends, selling them dope and them ODing or whatever, somebody I care about or whatever, giving them drugs and them dying or whatever, and knowing that my choices are responsible for that, or, you know, and then it not changing nothing and me still continuing to do the same thing.
It goes with
even
the
after
lifestyle.
that.
It goes with the lifestyle.
I mean,
if you pick up one of these drugs, you got to know that there's a chance, especially nowadays, there could be fentanyl in it, even if it's not fentanyl. If it's crack or coke or crystal meth or even
everything
pot,
has fentanyl in it.
Yeah.
everything's got fentanyl in it.
Right.
So if you're picking up one of these drugs, if you're not knowing that that's a possibility, you're just an idiot.
Right. Absolutely. You got to be accountable for your actions. You know, you got to take it on the chin. Like, this is my life and this is what I do. And I know that there's consequences and repercussions, but being able to just be numb to that, to not care regardless of.
And to be numb, you get high.
Right.
So it just.
Do you think there's some element of like almost like a borderline personality death wish in that decision?
I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, like we talk about this and I'm content with the way things are. You know, if you're a sailor and you go out and you're sailing in the ocean and you die, people are like, oh, he died doing what he loved, you know, sailing, and like, oh, good for him, and everybody's all proud of that. Well, I mean, I like doing drugs and I like getting high, so if it kills me, like, so be it. Those were my choices. I'm content with that. I've accepted that. I'm accountable for that. Like, I mean, I don't see myself going any other way.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you one last question, you guys. What would you say is the most important lesson you've learned in your lives?
Life is short, so the time you do have here, try and be good to others. Don't, you know, let others dictate how you live your life, regardless of what you're around and the people you're around. Don't let it change you. Try and stay yourself and, you know, just love people. And that's what's important in life, not the shiny stuff or the material. You can't take none of that with you. And at the end of the day, when you're dying or you're in the hospital doing that, the shiny stuff isn't there, or your new iPhone isn't what you're thinking about. It's your kids or the people you care about, relationships you've developed. I mean.
Did you have kids, Andrea?
I do. I have one. He'll be 20 in July 14th.
Did you raise him?
No, I didn't at all.
It was because of drugs?
Yes, absolutely. And then instead of getting clean for him, I stayed getting high because of him. Like, I didn't use him as a reason to get clean. I used him as a reason to get high. And it was awful, like all the shame and guilt and regret. I just continued to get high and just bury the pain. And now, that's my biggest regret. Just.
Yeah, it's really it's a cycle.
Yeah.
Of like, you do something that you're ashamed of, you feel this shame, and you do the drug to get rid of the feeling of shame. Right. And then you even dig deeper and you keep this.
And I never tried to move forward and have another child or another, you know what I mean, that life. Because how do I tell PJ that, sorry, buddy, I couldn't take care of you, but I'm going to take care of this baby? And you know what I mean? So I just used it as you know what I mean? Just stayed still, doing the same thing.
Mm. Yeah, it's a rough lifestyle.
It is.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you.
I wish you lots of luck out here. Be safe in Skid Row.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When I was designing the first Softwood Underbelly book, I realized that there were so many great portraits that weren't going to make it into that book. They just wouldn't fit. And once I saw how well that first book sold, I knew I'd have to design a second book.
This second book is finally ready to ship. Like the first one, this book has a collection of some of the best portraits from Soft White Underbelly, accompanied by a quote from that person's interview. This book features another group of Rebecca portraits, as well as a collection of color images of the Whitaker family, and plenty of others. You can order yours for $125 or $150 for a signed copy at softwhiteunderbelly.org. Again, like the first book, once this book is sold out, I will not be printing more of them. The portraits are what Soft White Underbelly is all about, and these two books contain the best of all that work. Thank you for watching.